get more and more money back every year. We've had the opportunity to gather at events over the past year, and many of you opened your homes for us to have little joins, which has been a way for us to share what Impact 100 is all about. Thank you for that. We also gathered one evening at the Peninsula Pilot Game for a summer fun and evening at the ball game. We enjoyed one of the last concerts at Fort Monroe, and thank you to the Grams for hosting us that evening. We also helped donate items for one of the transitions families that was moving into a new apartment. A way to stay in touch with Impact is becoming easier. When you renew, make sure your email address and your regular address are all written out. You know we're on Facebook and Instagram, but now Tasha Rose is going to share with you how it's becoming easier to get connected with Impact through a new app that we have. Tasha is our co-chair-elect and has done so much to make tonight and all of our events very special. All right, so this is my first time up here, so we'll make it. Oh, you already got it up there. Look at that. Good evening. I'm Tasha Rose. I'm probably the least exciting part of your evening, so I'll be quick, but it's important stuff. Initially, you've heard a lot about it this evening, the communication piece, which the app is going to assist with. First and foremost, I want to stress how important we feel it is to keep membership updated throughout the year. We've worked hard to ensure that each and every one of you are receiving our communication, but have found a number of barriers to that. These range anywhere from junk, spam, to incorrect information, and everything in between. Without boring you with the details, we want you to know if you're not hearing from us, you should be. We cannot stress enough that it is important to us that you're receiving our communication. So this began tonight, hopefully, by you guys verifying your email, and as Sydney said, making sure that when you're filling out your applications, it's clearly written, because it helps us make sure that you're getting all of the information. So the next thing we did that makes it a whole heck of a lot easier is introduce the app. Some of you this evening have already signed up for it, and that's great. But for those of you that haven't, we hope that you will. Inside your packets, you have this handout, which is a step-by-step guide on how to download the app to your phone. Something else that's important to notice is if you don't want to download it to your phone, or you don't have a smartphone, or it's not something or it's a company phone, this can be done from a desktop. If you do it on your desktop, you will receive the notifications via email rather than as push alerts to your cell phone. But either way, it's all in one place to get Impact information. So that's exciting. This is what the home screen looks like. Just so you know, when you download your app, this is all the information that you'll have access to. Our news, events, you can renew directly on there, our newsletters, our website. But one of the things I definitely wanted to point out to each and every one of you is our volunteer opportunities. Now, please don't mistake this. We stick to our promise. If all you want to do is become a member and be here this evening, which we love, that's terrific. However, we're getting a lot of feedback that there's folks that want to get more involved, and we are happy to have you. So please be aware these are some of the opportunities that you have. We've included it in the new membership application. It's on the app as well as the email or Facebook, so just be in touch with us regarding that information. We did have a little giveaway to promote signing up for the app. As y'all noticed when you came in, there was swag available, and tonight the giveaway is for the hat. And Jennifer Dick, thank you so much for signing up for our app. I won't make you make the long walk, but I'll hook up with you after and give you your hat. If you missed this opportunity, the next giveaway is going to be for renewal. If you renew your membership this evening via the app, the website, or your application that's included in your packet, tomorrow we will announce the winner and you will receive a quarter zip that was out on display this evening. So we would hope that you would take advantage of that opportunity. And finally, the upcoming year. We are starting our membership with our new year with membership kickoffs in Newport News, Williamsburg, and Hampton. and we hope that you can join us in one of these locations. Obviously, there will be more opportunities throughout the year, but we would love for you to come and mingle with renewing membership or bring a friend so they can learn more. You'll be hearing more about these. It's on our social media, it's on the app, but take note of these dates, and we look forward to the new year. And now, that's it, yeah.
That is a free app. I know that it's going to be, if you look at the very first step, it says Team App, so it doesn't really say Impact 100, so just make sure that when you're doing it, it automatically jumps into Impact 100, but it's a great way to stay connected. At this point, we're excited to be able to hear from last year's grant recipients. So we'll take just a few minutes and we'll start with our Transitions Family Violence Services.
So I may look a little different. I have less hair, no belly this year, for those of you that were here last year. I had my son shortly after, but it's such a pleasure to be back before you and to give you an update. I just want to thank the women of Impact 100 just for not only your award last year, but just your support throughout the year. When I tell you these ladies were hands on deck when we called, if there was something we needed, or just being proactive in calling us and saying, how can we support your organization, they were there. So we really appreciate it. So for those of you that are not too familiar with our organization, Transitions Family Violence Services is your domestic violence agency. We serve Hampton, Newport News, Poquoson, and York County, providing free services for those that are fleeing domestic violence. Last year, we served about 2,800 individuals, most of them children. And what we're really trying to focus on in the upcoming years is preventing domestic violence. We want to break the cycle of violence so that no one has to experience what that is to be hurt by someone that claims to love you. And really being proactive in our education to let people know what a healthy relationship is. Because too often we hear stories of individuals experiencing emotional abuse or physical abuse or financial abuse. And no one should have to experience that. Everyone should be able to experience peace at home and in their relationships. So an update about our program, we applied for $50,000 for renovations to our transitional housing program, where we had a beam that wanted to be on the inside of the building, and we had to shut down 4 of our 8 apartments. At our transitional housing facilities, families can stay for 3 to 6 months and still engage in services ranging from counseling, financial literacy, and attending our support group. So being at half capacity and being the only transitional housing program on the peninsula serving victims of domestic violence was extremely detrimental to us. So we applied, and we crossed our fingers, and we came before you, and you awarded us those funds. And we rolled up our sleeves, and we got to work through all the wonderful weather late last year, and going back and forth with our contractors, and Spain Commercial just did a fantabulous job. Not fantastic, fantabulous job. They went over and beyond in making sure that we stuck to our deadline and that we could get back open for those families. So we were able to assist 4 adults and 10 children since we've been back open. And 2 of those women have made a commitment not to return back to their abusive relationship and have moved into permanent housing on the peninsula, which we're extremely excited about. We also broke history with one of our clients, and traditionally we had only housed women and children, and we received a call from a gentleman that said, I keep calling for help and no one is responding. He found himself in an abusive relationship, both physically and emotionally, and tonight he would have loved to be here. However, he was accepted into an educational program in Pennsylvania. However, he sent a message, and I would like to share that with you this evening. It's titled, "There Aren't Enough Ways to Say Thank You," by Stephen M. Saunders. To everyone and anyone who these words can reach, as I clean and pack up my apartment, I reflect on my short time here, and I just feel grateful that I had this opportunity to feel safe, secure, and prepare myself for the next leg of my journey. There aren't enough words or ways to say thank you for what's been done for me. Transitions Family Violence Services is a demonstration of believers fulfilling a mission as compared to staff members doing a job. They don't clock in and clock out. They show up, stand, protect, and deliver. From the first moment that I nervously called the domestic violence hotline to my final 24 hours here at the Next Step program, I've been made to feel like someone has my back. For someone with as much pain, fear, and anxiety as I have, that is beyond huge. Not once did I doubt these ladies. Not once did I question their efforts. Time and time again, they showed me the pride and investment they put into my well-being and my future. So much that I felt as if I were getting special treatment. The best part is that I wasn't. This is how they treat everyone they come across. And I have seen them do more for others than they have done for me. Had I been staying longer, I can only imagine what else we might have accomplished together. Miss Darrell, Miss Shahida, Miss Vanessa, Miss Sylvia, Miss Sanu, you do not know the impact you've left upon me. You all have gotten to know the struggle I have with communicating my thoughts and emotions. But you, I need you, and all the powers that be, to know that I see the work that's put in. I see the time, the dedication, and the effort. You are the best example of good people I've seen in a long, long time. I was never on this island by myself. 2 copies of this letter have been printed, one directly for the ladies and staff here at Transitions, and one for Impact 100. I want each and every person connected to these folks in this program to throw their full weight and support behind them. Funding, 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 whatever they need. We've already done that. They need to get. You can bet your bottom dollar and next paychecks that any request they make is worth it. I have been watching these ladies save lives, mine included. If it were in my power, I'd hand them a blank check. Support their outreach into the LGBT community. Support their outreach into all of the communities. They can't help anyone that doesn't know they're here. You can rest assured that in my future endeavors and success, I will not forget this place. I will not forget what you've done for me. I'm coming out of a dark place. Thanks to support I've gotten here, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I take your energy, love, and support on the road with me. I'll do my best to remember to pay it forward. Sincerely, Stephen Saunders. So before I share a video with you, again, I just want to thank you for your support and the lives that you all are continuing to change, not just with Transitions Family Violence Services, but all the organizations that you're supporting through your capacity grants and just the hard work that you're putting in just to help organizations. So thank you, and we appreciate it. So on behalf of our board, our staff, our clients, and all of our volunteers, thank you again, and I'll share this video with you.
little with us about their grant from last year.
Good evening, I'm Joan Peterson, the Executive Director of Literacy for Life, and I have to say it's really exciting to be here to share information about the amazing impact that your funding made possible. I have to say I'm way more relaxed this year than last year this time, so my heart goes out to you guys. I know exactly how you feel. So good luck to you. There's some great programs competing tonight. In case you don't know about Literacy for Life, what we do is teach reading, writing, math, English for speakers of other languages, health literacy, and work skills, and now our Empowering Parents program that you're going to hear about. And we touched over 800, or served over 800 people last year. And we're going to tell you specifically about the Empowering Parents program that was funded by Impact 100. We are so grateful to you ladies for what you have been able to do with your great fundraising. And our program alone was able to touch over 100 people, parents and children, with the $50,000 grant. And with your funding, we were able to expand our program by developing new curriculum, our school success program you'll hear about. We were also able to increase our outreach by going deeper into the community and touching parents that we hadn't reached before. The 4 components of the program that we developed, the Empowering Parents program, is the Mother Read program, which is a family literacy type program, encouraging parents to read to their children. We had the school success curriculum, helping parents navigate the school system more successfully. We have our work skills program, some of you may be familiar with that, which is our employee ed program. And then we have our health literacy program, which is called HEAL. And because of this grant, we were able to pilot this program, and it was hugely successful. And we feel now that we are poised to replicate this program, thereby helping many more people. And now you're going to hear firsthand from people that were directly involved with the program. You'll hear from a teacher who was an instructor in the program, a parent who experienced it firsthand, and a message from the school principal who was our partner in the program.
Hello, I'm Frances Falcone. I am the Empowering Parents instructor. From my perspective, these courses, these classes, I've seen the growth in our parents. And just the growth and confidence they build in speaking the new language. At times they come in shy and guarded, and the content that is built into these lessons helps the people to communicate a bit more. And it is common to all of us, so it's something where it doesn't matter what language you speak. They are sort of all understanding one another because we all have the same needs and wants as humans. Class discussions, class activities begin to tear down walls. It better equips our parents to help their children with reading, to communicate with the teachers and faculty at school, to understand employment options, as well as navigate through the medical system, which can be difficult for English speakers, let alone speakers of other languages. So as classes progress, I noticed parents begin to communicate more, not only with me and with each other, but beyond the classroom, with their children, with their families, their coworkers. I have one single mom who's just grateful to be able to learn how to speak to her child's teacher on the online portal called ParentView. A single dad who had issues communicating with his daughter expressed that through the books that we give them at each class, he was able to begin having different discussions about the themes of each book. And another parent who is looking forward to HEAL classes because she has many questions about the medical industry that she wants answered. This program has given parents and their children the tools to make their transitions just a bit easier as they learn a new language. And now I just want you to meet one of our parents.
Good evening, everyone. I want to share with you my experience in literacy of life in this program. My name is Sandy. My daughter and I moved from Puerto Rico to Virginia a year ago before Hurricane Maria. I did not speak any English. I was too afraid to try. I started to attend classes at Literacy for Life. My daughter, Genesis, was also learning English. We started to practice English at home. And one of the ways we did this was to share the books I received from the Empowering Parents program. I learned that I need to make reading with my daughter a priority. Her interest in reading increased, and she was so excited each time I came home with a new book. Reading books together has become a special time for us. By attending the Empowering Parent class, I was able to bond and make friends with other parents. We spoke different languages, but we all enjoyed the books together, and each week our English improved. I need to get a job and the employee program, which is also part of the grocery store, which is also part of the Empowered Parents program, helped me prepare for and get a job at a local grocery store. Once my English skill improved, my dream is to work in my profession here in the United States. I am so thankful for all the people who made this program possible. You have helped me to grow personally and professionally. Now I have a job. Now I have a confidence to speak English to my daughter, to my neighbors, to my doctor, and to my child teacher. Most importantly, my daughter is succeeding at school and has developed a love for reading. Right now, I feel that I am pursuing the work of my dream, and all thanks to this program. Thank you so much.
Good evening, my name is Fiona Benke and I'm the Programme Operations Manager at Literacy for Life. Principal Ford is unable to join us this evening, but she asked me to read this message. We're all familiar with the ancient proverb, teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. That principle guides the work of the Matthew Whaley Learning Community. We continuously strive to engage our students in learning in a manner that empowers every learner to be a full participant in his or her education and to experience the pride of reaching goals. So, it was a very natural and powerful fit for our school to partner with Literacy for Life on behalf of the Empowering Parents program, for the goals of that program parallel the goals we have for our young learners. All parents want their children to be healthy and learn essential skills that will help them grow toward their potential. The Empowering Parents program focuses on the key skills families need to be active participants and confident advocates for their children's health and education. Our collaboration with Literacy for Life to serve our students and their families has resulted in stronger partnerships that directly improve the well-being of the lives of our families, our school, and the greater community. And we'd like to share a slideshow with you. Thank you.
help do all of this. Okay, so now on to the main event. We will be calling up the organizations by name. Each organization will have 7 minutes. We will give them 3 warnings throughout the presentation, but we will be strict on time. Our first presenter tonight is the Jamestown 4-H Educational Center.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sue Williams, and I'm the Center Director at the Jamestown 4-H Educational Center. Thank you so much for having us here tonight, and thank you so much for what you do for your community. Camp changes lives, one camper at a time. If you'd be kind enough, please raise your hand if you yourself went to camp as a child, or perhaps you sent your own child, or grandchild, or niece or nephew. Please raise your hand if you'd be so kind. Please keep your hand up. Look around. That's amazing. Somewhere in your history, you have valued camp. You have valued what camp does for a child or for a family. Camp changes lives, and many folks that I speak to say that they are the person they are today because of what camp did for them. This past August, we hosted Operation Purple Camp. Operation Purple is a partnership that we have with the National Military Family Association, and through that program, we are able to do amazing things. Operation Purple Camp is for children, families who have a parent who's actively deployed in a 15-month deployment window or has been injured since 9/11. We also serve Gold Star families, someone who has lost someone. It's pretty amazing. So on Thursday, we had volunteers from all over the community. We had SWAT teams from Newport News. We had James City County SWAT teams. We had 25 Marines, and we had the Coast Guard. So campers came in on Sunday, and all throughout the week, they did archery and stand-up paddleboarding and nature and science and crafts. But on Thursday, the premise was that kids served too. So little Jackson's 9 years old, and he walks up to one of the Marines, little guy, big guy, and he looks at the man and says, "Do you know my dad? He's a Marine too." And I happened to walk by the conversation, and it stopped me in my tracks. Because the Marine said, "I do, I know your dad. You must be really proud of him." I found out that he didn't know the little boy's dad, but he said it. The very first year we hosted Operation Purple, we had a Chinook helicopter land on our rec field, and all the little campers, little guys, big guys, all the camp staff waited for the helicopter to land, and out of the cockpit comes the pilot. And you could hear a pin drop, because when the individual took off their headgear, it was a woman. It was cool. And the nice thing is that that summer, our camp staff were stronger, especially the female staff were stronger, because they realized they could do anything. And campers realized that too. So when a child goes to summer camp, in a traditional program, they're worried about what classes activities they'll get. They're worried about whether they'll be homesick or miss their mom and dad or grandparent. They're worried about what friends they're going to have in the cabin. But when a military child goes to camp, they worry that their loved one may or may not come home. It's profound. This past summer, we had 480 children on the wait list for 125 spaces available. For our military buddy camp, we had 90 families apply for 20 spaces. For our military family camp, we had 100 families apply after post-deployment to reconnect for only 20 spaces. We didn't have enough space. Maddie attended our day camp program this summer, and Maddie is on the spectrum, autism. Her mom was so worried about sending her child to camp because she wasn't sure whether she could socially adapt and make friends. So Mom met with me, met with our staff, sat down, and realized that She wasn't sure she was going to do it. Maddie lasted the entire summer and thrived. She made friends that will impact her, hopefully her life, and she grew confidence. Camp is magic and camp builds people. We believe that today's campers are tomorrow's leaders. And our camp staff are trained to be leaders in the community, in their homes, in their schools, in their churches, and I think will be you someday sitting in these seats. Camp gives children the opportunity to gain independence, learn new skills, build confidence, and develop authentic relationships without the use of a screen. Camp is unplugged, and camp is intentional. Our center sits on the shores of the James River on 16 acres of land, and we simply do not have enough teaching space or meeting space or space for safety during inclement weather. We are safe. We make sure things are just right. So we have plans to build this porch. It's an 80 by 20 foot structure that was built more than 60 years ago, and for safety reasons we had to remove it, and all that's left is the foundation. It would be amazing to get that space back so we could do more. Time and weather has just torn it down. This new space would be a designated indoor teaching space to complement our outdoor classroom or on the river. And it would also serve a refuge for heat in the summer or storms throughout the year. In our camping programs alone, we served over 2,500 children through the course of just 10 weeks. Goes by really fast. Our residential 4-H senior camp serves children from 23 different localities in Virginia. We serve all different socioeconomic backgrounds, all different ages and abilities of children. And not only that, the children are exposed to camp staff, young professionals, men and women, not only that grew up here locally, but also from around the world. About 15% of our staff are international, so campers got to meet someone from Sweden, from Australia, from New Zealand, from China. It's amazing. During those programs, our children learn STEM classes, creative arts programs, and aquatics, stand-up paddleboarding, kayaking, and everything between. We do leave no trace programs so that we can be stewards of our next generation, of our community of our waterways. If we are fortunate to get the funding from you today, we can immediately begin reaching more children. We can continue to serve military families, and we can serve additional children on our summer day camps and resident grants. Camp builds people, that's important today, and camp changes lives, one camper at a time. Thank you so much for your time and attention.
The next presenter will be First Ability.
Graduation is a time of great joy for many families as their child embarks on an exciting new journey full of opportunity. Unfortunately, for families of loved ones with disabilities, it is often a time of great stress and anxiety. Just over half of students with disabilities in Virginia graduate with a standard diploma. Then these graduates are faced with the additional challenge of 70% unemployment for people with disabilities. Many students with disabilities finish school and fail to make the transition to work due to a lack of funding and support systems. In Virginia, people with disabilities are not entitled to services as an adult, and many fall off a dramatic cliff at graduation with nowhere to turn. Far too many of these young adults end up unemployed, hopes and dreams dashed, as they quickly regress in their skills. Depending on the disability, a parent may then need to remain at home and forgo an income to ensure their safety. Students with disabilities in our community deserve better than graduating to the couch and ending up isolated at home. Good evening, I'm Kasha Jolkowski, and I have the privilege of serving as the CEO of Versability Resources.
People with disabilities of all ages and their families have been depending on Versability for 65 years. We currently serve over 1,600 individuals with disabilities in early childhood, day support, community living, and 4 diverse employment programs. We firmly believe that people with disabilities are only limited by our lack of imagination as to what they can achieve. This is especially true for students with disabilities who have benefited from early intervention programs and inclusive classes and now need our support to take the next step to gainful employment. With me tonight is Lori Armour, the mother of Jonathan, whose family has experienced firsthand the transformative power of purpose when people with disabilities are given opportunities to succeed at work. And Lori's going to tell us about Jonathan. Okay.
Hi. This, of course, is my son, Jonathan. He's 21 years old and he has Fragile X syndrome. He's a big guy, as you can see, and when he enters the room, everyone knows it. Many people see this picture and you see the smiles, and what you don't see is when Jonathan was 2 years old, Jonathan became physically aggressive. And he stayed physically aggressive until he started high school. We've had the police out numerous times. He's put me in the hospital numerous times. As you can see, he's a big guy, and when he hits, it hurts. As a parent of a low-functioning child, all you want is for them to be happy and productive. Jonathan started working at Versability through a partnership with the Newport News Public School System, and it's been the best thing for him. They let him try different jobs until they found the perfect fit. He now works in an area cleaning industrial fixtures, and he gets to use a hammer. And a 21-year-old with a hammer is the best thing in the world. Since he's been working, he's lost 20 pounds. Being productive during the day has also controlled and reduced his aggression. Jonathan has not had a single violent episode in the past year. We are able to attend family events. We are able to go to restaurants. These are things that we could never do before. He has a purpose. He has something to do. He loves bringing home a paycheck, even though he tries to convince me that he should take steak and potatoes every day for lunch. And he's just proud to be working. Versability helped Jonathan grow up, and I am so proud of how far he has come. Recently, when I was picking Jonathan up from Versability, he made a comment when he got in the car about how he had lunch with his friends. I had to look away because I didn't want him to see me cry. Because this is the first time he's ever talked about having friends. The staff at Versability has seen the difference in Jonathan since he started, but it's more than that. It's more than the difference at work. It's also made a difference at home. They have given my family so much more than we could ever expect. Thank you.
A 2-year grant from Impact 100 will launch a pre-employment training program for students with disabilities like Jonathan. Versability's program will increase employment opportunities for students with disabilities in the Greater Peninsula region through outreach, education, and training. This is a new program that will achieve systems change by transforming the fragmented approach to life after high school for students with disabilities. Even families with resources are lost, let alone the struggles of single-parent households working multiple jobs. Our program will give students and their families a path to employment, which means so much more than a paycheck, as it brings the invaluable sense of dignity that comes from being a productive citizen. Funding from Impact 100 will provide the materials needed for all trainings for students, their families, employers, and school personnel. Online resources will be available through a pre-employment training website, complete with educational videos. Students will also engage in skill development and career exploration. We will hold family forums to help parents plan for the future of their loved one with disabilities. We plan to educate at least 100 students with disabilities and their families, at least 80% of school transition professionals, 50% of special education teachers, and 50 employers over 2 years. We will offer a transition fair for students and their families to meet with employers and colleges and host a collaborative forum so all partners remain connected and informed. We will sustain this program after the grant period through internal and external funding resources, and this is a critical component of our strategic plan because no one else in the community is stepping up to this challenge, which is desperately needed by so many families. For every success story like Jonathan's, oh, I didn't see my time. This is a tragic waste of human potential, and we ask you to help us transform these lives and let them experience the dignity of work and a life of opportunity.
Next, we have Downtown Hampton Child Development Center.
One out of every three children in Virginia start kindergarten unprepared for success. One out of every three. I'm Heather Livingston. I'm the Executive Director of Downtown Hampton Child Development Center. And we are committed to changing that paradigm. We are a nonprofit preschool providing early childhood education to some of our area's most at-risk and underserved families. We are independent from the city school system, and we serve children from all over the peninsula. At DHCDC, we believe that every child deserves access to high-quality preschool regardless of social and economic status. That's why we're the only preschool on the peninsula who has a sliding scale tuition and are open to the public. And our center isn't just any preschool. Our accreditation through the National Association for Early Childhood Education puts us at the top 7% of preschools nationwide. Unfortunately, children who start behind often stay behind. Quality early childhood education may be the best tool we have to challenge the cycle of poverty that causes homelessness, drug abuse, and criminal activity. At DHCDC, over 200 children were provided affordable, quality education just last year alone. 82% of our families are presently living at or below the federal poverty guidelines. In addition, our children range from 6 weeks to 5 years old, and each child receives instruction based on proven curricula. Each child receives nutritious meals at no extra cost. Each child's family receives additional resources, free family workshops, and help during times of personal struggle. Our program wraps around the whole child and the whole family.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Nadine Castro, and I'm the proud parent of 3 boys, 2 whom have attended the school. It's both an honor and a privilege to speak to you today about the blessing that this school has been for my family. I found out I was pregnant at the age of, with my first child at the age of 22. I did not have a life plan at the time, but I knew I needed to choose a career path that would benefit myself and my son. I was working part-time, attending school part-time, and being a full-time mom. I'm sure you guys know the saying, when it rains, it pours. My mother had passed away from cancer while I was pregnant with my second child 3 years later. My boy's father was overcome by a drug addiction driven by mental health and was unable to stay in our lives, and it truly was painful to suffer the loss of not only my mother but also my partner. So I was unable to finish my degree, and I enrolled my children in a corporate daycare, or care center, which the tuition equaled pretty much my paycheck because I also worked there as well. Every morning, my youngest son, Koa, would cry inconsolably at drop-off, which tore my heart apart. My 4-year-old Tristan was quiet, he was reserved, he was sensitive, and he pretty much wore his heart on his sleeve. And at the recommendation of a friend, which I was so lucky to find out that about this school, and I looked into it and I enrolled both of them there. Not only did Koa stop crying at drop-off, he was now excited to go to school, which was completely opposite of the other center, and I didn't understand. And immediately Tristan came out of his shell, and he was showing interest in singing and dancing, and he had friends, and he had confidence, and he soared, and his personality flourished, which was, like I said, the complete opposite. My boys were so happy, and the school has allowed me the freedom to work, to pay my bills, to still be able to invest in my family, and I know that the education and the love that my son and that my children have received at this school have really changed their lives for the better. So, thank you.
We sing and dance in downtown Hampton. For 47 years, downtown Hampton Child Development Center has made a positive impact on the peninsula. But we need to do more. For each of the last 5 years, there have been between 10 and 40 families whose infants and toddlers never came off our waiting list simply because we didn't have the age-specific appropriate space in our school. We are asking today for your help to open a new toddler classroom and increase our capacity to serve young children in our community. With your help, we can purchase changing tables, buy indoor play equipment, and completely replace our old, inadequate playground. We can cover the salaries for 2 toddler teachers for a partial year. With your help, we can buy the classroom supplies necessary to run this new classroom at the quality level required to maintain our accreditation. With your help, we can enroll every child on our waiting list, every single child. The good news is that this new toddler classroom has been reviewed and already approved by our state of Virginia licensure. We've already set a special sliding scale tuition that would charge parents approximately 60% of what it costs us to educate children. All we need now is you. We need your help to help cover the cost of getting the toddler classroom up and running. And we will incorporate continued costs into our normal budget. Studies show that for every dollar one spends on quality child care for disadvantaged children and families, the return is $17. That means your investment today could be $850,000 for our community in the future. The impact of being able to enroll more children at DHCDC in our new toddler room will reduce community health costs, provide greater earnings, increase education levels, and create higher IQs. Thank you very much.
Okay, next we have Gloucester Matthews Care Clinic. Imagine you're the mom of a daughter who's a star athlete in her freshman year of high school. She wants you to come and watch her play, but week after week you give any excuse you can not to go. It isn't because you don't want to see her, certainly not. You're dying inside to go and watch her play and cheer her on. But most of your teeth are in advanced decay. You never smile, and you cringe at the thought of the other parents and students seeing your teeth, afraid of embarrassing your daughter, and your heart is breaking. Imagine you're 32 years old, married with 2 daughters. For the past 10 years, you've worked as a professional painter for a family-owned business, but it's just closed its doors. You go out for jobs on your own, but despite a glowing reference from your employer, which describes you as a skillful, reliable painter, you struggle to find steady work. Your teeth are extremely decayed because you haven't been to a dentist for years. You're self-conscious about meeting anyone new, especially in interviews with potential clients. You're uncomfortable with your outward appearance and you feel like it's affecting your ability to find work and support your family. You grow anxious. I'm Arlene Armentor, Executive Director of the Gloucester Matthews Care Clinic, and these are the true stories of Maria and Joe, 2 of the over 1,000 patients that we serve at our care clinic each year. And if you happen to pick up one of our handouts out in the lobby, you saw Joe's actual panoramic x-ray of his teeth. Our clinic has provided compassionate medical care for low-income, uninsured residents in Gloucester and Matthews County since 1998. Because despite the Affordable Care Act, over 10% of Virginians are without health insurance. And actually 3.8 million Virginians have no dental insurance. It's typically because they can't afford the monthly premiums or deductibles. And when it becomes a choice between rent and food or health insurance loses. The uninsured postpone necessary care or forego preventive care and medications altogether. They often end up seeking care in emergency rooms, or they're hospitalized for conditions when it could have been avoided through preventive care. We offer medical and behavioral health services as well as an on-site pharmacy with an annual budget right at $1 million, a team of 19 full-time and part-time staff members, and nearly 200 clinical and administrative volunteers. Most of our patients, actually it's about 80%, are being treated for chronic conditions like diabetes, hypertension, COPD, and other illnesses which require ongoing management. In 2017, our board had to make an incredibly difficult decision to suspend our clinic's dental program, which was the only dental safety net program on the Middle Peninsula. The combination of some unexpected funding cuts and providing some complex and costly services such as root canals and dentures made it extremely challenging to sustain the program. Providing dental care is expensive, but not providing it is even more expensive. Did you know that dental disease costs employed adults over 1 million hours of lost work time each year? And that Virginia Medicaid spent $2.31 million for over 12,000 emergency room visits for dental-related issues? The emergency room is not a solution because there's no dentist at the emergency room. The emergency room doctors will tell patients, go see a dentist. But for the uninsured, there is no dentist. They start back at square one. So the ER provides temporary relief, maybe some pain medication, but it doesn't solve the underlying issue. At the Gloucester Matthews Care Clinic, we have a beautiful state-of-the-art dental clinic with 3 operatories, digital panoramic x-ray equipment, and a lab. But right now, the treatment rooms are dark, the equipment is unused, and the dental chairs sit empty, while individuals in our community suffer in pain with no treatment options. Our proposal to Impact 100 is to reinstate our dental program, bringing back critical dental care to those in need with a different service delivery model that will be sustainable. This $50,000 grant would enable us to reestablish a part-time dental clinic,
Volunteer dentists would provide patient care. There's already been 5 volunteer dentists recruited. The funds would be used to hire a dental coordinator and dental assistant to manage the program. We've been told that dental hygienist students from Thomas Nelson Community College will be available to the dental clinic during 2019, and we're working with VCU to have access to dental students as well. Services provided would include dental basics, cleanings, fillings, and extractions. More complex procedures would be referred to partner dentists in the community who would provide these services to our patients at no or minimal cost. At the end of 1 year, we will have provided preventive and basic dental care for at least 100 patients, but we anticipate more, improving their oral health, their overall health, and ultimately their quality of life. This program will reduce unnecessary ER visits and keep our patients on the job, reducing healthcare costs and increasing productivity. To sustain this program, our clinic's board of directors at its August meeting pledged to raise an additional $50,000 to match Impact 100 funds to sustain the program into the second year as other sources of sustainable funding are developed. Remember Maria and Joe? They are the 2 examples of individuals whose lives were truly transformed by our dental program. Maria was able to have all of her teeth extracted at our clinic, and she received dentures through the Mission of Mercy program, and by her daughter's sophomore year, she was at every game, no longer afraid to smile and cheer. Joe was also able to have all his teeth extracted at the clinic. He and his family then moved out of state to be nearer to his dad, but he was able to scrape together enough money to be fitted for an inexpensive set of dentures. And his business, even though he's in a new area, has been steady. He says perhaps people are not hiring him for his new smile, but he knows he's more confident in his interactions, and when he looks in the mirror, he sees a whole new person thanks to the clinic. Impact 100, please help us provide care that is critically needed and that most of us take for granted. Please help us fill those empty chairs and restore the only dental safety net clinic on the Middle Peninsula for all those like Maria and Joe who need us so very much. Thank you.
Next, we have soundscapes.
This is a clarinet, but not just any clarinet. This clarinet belongs to a young man named Yafa. Yafa came to Soundscapes when he was just 6 years old, a first grader at Carver Elementary School where Soundscapes takes place. Yafa was full of potential and full of a lot of energy. And as we know, the energy didn't always come out at the right time or at the right place. Sadly, his mother said to us that Yafa was diagnosed at a young age as a child that was troubled. Yafa has faced many challenges early on in his life, and his mother was horrified about what his future was going to be. Because she would notice in the neighborhood that kids were drinking and smoking and fighting on the street corners. And she was saddened by these things that was happening to Yafa. Then when Yafa turned 11 years old, he had to face a terrible tragedy. His father passed away. What a horrible thing for a young man to have to face. But now let me tell you about Soundscapes. You see, Soundscapes is designed for children just like Yafa. Soundscapes is an educational intervention program that is transforming the lives of at-risk students through music. Soundscapes is a program that happens every day after school for 2 hours. Yes, every day after school for 2 hours. Soundscapes provide quality music instruction to the children for free. And those same children receive instruments for free. My name is Katina Billups, and I am the behavior specialist for Soundscapes, and I am also a teacher at Carver Elementary School. So I know firsthand the difference this program has made in the lives of our children. I watched them change. I watched them grow. I watched them come into a place where they could barely function, and then something great begins to happen. Their eyes are widened. They said, I can be something that is great, because greatness is already in them. It's a part of who they are. They just need something and someone to bring out that greatness. And you know what? Music does just that. Music gets them excited. Music lets you be in a place where no one else can be in. And when it's you and your instrument, it is something amazing. You become one. No one can take it from you, and no one else can give it to you. Because when you say that I am a musician, and you know that it's true, it doesn't matter where you are and where you go. That sense of pride, that sense of possibility, this sense of self-esteem and confidence is within you. Now remember, Yafa, they had all the energy bottled up inside of him. Soundscapes taught him to channel that energy and to create something great without getting in trouble. Soundscapes also helped him to deal with the loss of his father in a healthy way. Yafa has told us, whenever I'm feeling sad, I go grab my clarinet and I just play and play. He says, I know that my father is proud of me. I know that my father loves me and knows that I'm doing well. Well, today, Yafa is a 10th grade student that still plays the clarinet. 2 years ago, Yafa traveled to Boston for 2 weeks in the summer to play at an international children's orchestra at the well-known Longy School of Music. And Yafa is excelling in more than just music. Last year, he was recognized as a leader in his community and invited by a professor at Hampton University to attend the Virginia's General Assembly. Just this past summer, Yafa attended the 18th Annual Minority Law and Research Institute at Southern University's Law Center in Baton Rouge. Yafa's story is not yet complete. He's still learning, he's still maturing, he's still becoming the person that this world wants to see. But you know what? Thanks to Soundscapes, he's ready to take on the challenge, ready to do something magnificent. And this is what Soundscapes helps to develop: successful, productive, and amazing children that are going to change the world for you and I.
Now here's where you and I come in. I am the co-founder and executive director of Soundscapes. Yafa is just one of almost 500 students that we have reached through Soundscapes in the past 9 years. But there are many, many more who need us and who want us. Our waiting list has had over 90 students, and we have other schools who have made requests because they want to have our program in their school. The good news is that we are now ready to expand our program. The board is committed, and we have found the perfect location: the old Courthouse Way Community Center in Denby, which is located within 2 miles of 3 different Title I elementary schools. We've talked with Parks and Recreation about using the space. We've talked with Newport News Public Schools about connecting with children and providing transportation. The one piece of the puzzle that is preventing this expansion from becoming a reality is funding. With the $50,000 grant from Impact 100, we can purchase instruments, we can hire new teaching artists, we can cover all other startup costs to begin a new Denby-based program. In the first year, we will reach 25 3rd and 4th grade students in a wind band program. We'll be using the same custom curriculum we've developed over the past 9 years and been refining, which teaches both music and life skills. But here's the really important part. Once the program gets started, we plan to grow it every year just the way we have at Carver Elementary. That's why we've already begun talking to business and civic leaders and individual supporters about this exact possibility. Because once the new program gets up and running, we will need their support to sustain it. So far, the feedback we've been hearing is extremely positive. So as our program grows, thank you.
All right, last but not least, we have the Boys and Girls Club.
Good evening. Whether it's violence in the community or crime, or the lure of drugs, sex, and alcohol, our youth are faced with tremendous challenges. In fact, today, most of our youth grow up in either two-parent households or single-parent households that are both working. So when our kids come home from school, what is there for them? Ladies, Boys and Girls Clubs are there for them. Today, our clubs serve over 6,000 youth in the communities of Hampton, Newport News, Gloucester, Matthews, and York County. We have been serving our youth for over 70 years, providing opportunities to not only have a safe place to go after school, but also the ability to have a great future and become future leaders in our community. Our programs focus on providing academic success, a healthy lifestyle, and good character and citizenship. The advantage in the club of a healthy lifestyle starts with basic life skills, like learning how to swim. Do you know that many of our youth do not know how to swim today? In fact, over 70% of our youth that come from families who their parents don't know how to swim cannot swim as well. In fact, we are focused on providing the skills and encouragement for our kids to have a great future. In 1984, we built a club in the north end of Newport News, and that club was a state-of-the-art facility. In fact, that club had an indoor pool, which today still is one of the only indoor pools in that community. Our kids learn how to swim and have the values that help them become future leaders in our society. I can talk all day about the impact that our clubs have and the project itself, but first I want to introduce one of our parents who's actually had two of her family members, actually many of her family members, attend our club, and her name is Berta White.
Good evening. The impact that the Peninsula Boys and Girls Club has had is insurmountable. A few years ago, my grandson was there. He served about 8 years there. He graduated from Heritage High School. Then my granddaughter came, and the grandchildren kept coming. So their safe haven was the Peninsula Boys and Girls Club. They could go there after school, they could get their homework done, and you know that means some mean time for me. So, having said that, the Peninsula Boys and Girls Club has done a lot of things. My grandson just recently came back from Cal Ripton baseball camp in Maryland through the Boys and Girls Club. Also, my granddaughter that just graduated from high school was through the Boys and Girls Club. She was a police cadet at the age of 14. So it had done a lot of things. My grandchildren learned to swim there. Mind you, I have 5 there and 1 on the way. In 5 years, he will be there. So it has given me, it has done a lot for them. I can't even explain really how much it really means. It's priceless because they learn a lot of things there. Through the leadership that they have now, I have seen a huge improvement. And it lets them be a better them. The bond is better. Janez, Kaija, I have one autistic, Amaria. She goes there. It's her second home. She looks forward to going there from school. She looks forward to the program. She looks forward to her friends. And she looks forward to just being there, being a part of something that will carry her through adulthood. The things that they're learning, what they're teaching them, the places they take them. Through the summer, they went to Busch Gardens. They were so excited that ordinarily they would not have the privilege to do. So, having said that, learning to swim, they don't have to worry about turning around and don't drown because they can swim. They have the opportunity there to use the pool and to, keep learning. The more they learn, it's better for me because, I can say all day, what are you doing? They come at it so excited. Oh, I did this and I did that. Ordinarily, they would not have the opportunity to do. So I just want to give a shout out to the Boys and Girls, Peninsula Boys and Girls Club, again, for being there for me. I'm lucky because it's like 3 minutes from my home. And, they can walk there and back safe. Most of all, it's safe. I feel that a lot of places you can't let your children go these days. But I do feel that it's safe for them to go and also to remain a kid while they're there and to do all the great things that they have to offer and to make them a better person. Thank you.
$50,000 from Impact 100. As you can imagine, thousands of kids have been impacted by this pool and learned to swim. And necessary repairs and renovations need to be completed, including the girls' locker room, which was a converted boys' locker room when Boys Club of Virginia Peninsula became Boys and Girls Clubs of Virginia Peninsula. So with your support, we'll be able to continue providing these healthy life skills for our kids and hopefully changing the tide of kids who aren't able to swim. Thank you.
Thank you all so much. Those were wonderful. Jennifer is going to come up really quick and tell us about voting and how we're going to vote. After she does that, we've allotted 20 minutes for deliberation and discussion. If we finish early, we will go ahead and announce because electronically we'll be able to know if all the votes are in. You may at this time, if you'd like to, if you've voted or you've decided to use the restrooms, just don't go far.
Everyone who had a blue ticket should have received one of these voting devices. And it's super easy. All the names are going to be posted up here. It's going to be alphabetical order, A, B, C, D, E, F. So the first, it's going to do we're going to have 2 separate polls, your first vote and your second vote. So the first vote, you're going to click A, B, C, D, E, or F. And the last click you make, so if you click A and you meant to click B or vice versa, the last one you select is going to be the one that's entered. And it's going to show the number and the letter on the screen. If for some reason something happens and it doesn't click again, it should show. If you have any issues, raise your hand and I'd be happy to switch it out. We have a couple extra, but you tested them, they should work. We'll let you know if, when the first poll is done, it'll show how many receivers have clicked. We'll know exactly if everyone's done, and then we'll let you know to do the second vote. And once we complete, then we can move forward and so you're gonna vote one time, and then we'll let you know when you can vote the second time. Have all of you voted once, or are there some of you no? There's still some of you.
There are two clickers out there that have not voted yet. about 2 or 3 minutes, so stick with it.
so first, Sydney and I want to thank you all for these wonderful presentations tonight. They were, as you can tell how long it took us to deliberate a little bit, there was quite a bit of discussion, and it was a wonderful evening, so thank you so much for your presentation.
So tonight, we offer to two wonderful groups $50,000 each. The first one to Downtown.
We just gave away $110,000 tonight. And that means we keep giving $310,000 away in 3 years. Ladies, that is so impressive and so exciting. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just a quick reminder to you all, please attend, spread the word about the big join, spread the word about Impact, what we've done, share, like, everything on social media. The next couple days you'll see a lot. If you would like to get more involved with us, please let us know. There are sign-up sheets outside on the table. You can grab anybody on the steering committee wearing one of these t-shirts. We would love to have more help. The only way we're going to be able to keep doing this and do more of this is by spreading the word, and we need your help to do that. Participants are going to stay for a few minutes. You all have a wonderful evening and enjoy this high. Thank you.